All right, I want to try to play what the detective or the interrogator says when they speak to the mother and the father of baby Dylan and their actions. So let me continue.
I actually was working on the new bypass, and I've been home approximately about an hour when my boss, Captain John Murphy, called me and told me we had a missing child case. That's when I first learned of it, and I needed to come to the office.
Okay. And did you respond to the sheriff's office from your home?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What was your role to be at that point?
So at this point, I was to do the interviews. They were going to be bringing her in, and that I would start with her. So at this point, I kind of went into it blind. A lot of times when we have cases, you kind of have like the outline of a case, what's going on. At this point, all I knew was their child was missing. That's the only information I had at this time.
Okay. And explain to the jury how you go about interrogating suspects when you don't have that kind of information, or what kind of interrogation tactics you use during an interrogation.
Okay, so there's different things. It depends on the situation, but this, it's kind of like I'm fishing. The best way to describe it is because at this point, I don't know where the child is, if the child is dead, alive. I know nothing. So at this point, I have no children's services reports. I have no reports from anybody. So I'll just go in and talk and try to figure out what's going on, where the child may be. I had recently just came off a case very similar that I assisted the Portsmouth Police Department with. So in the back of my mind, I thought it could end bad.
You thought it could end bad?
Yes.
Okay. Who did you interview first?
Jessica.
Okay. If you would describe to the members of the jury what her demeanor and appearance is as you see her there at the sheriff's office.
Very standoffish, cold, didn't really want to talk to me, kind of annoyed.
Were you making an effort to gain information about defendant Daniel Grove's whereabouts from her?
Absolutely.
Okay. And was she willing to provide you information about his whereabouts?
No, she said she had no idea where he was at.
Okay. Were you seeking to obtain information about baby Dylan's whereabouts?
Yeah, that was at that point, it was my main priority is, where is this child? Is he okay? Is he somewhere where we can go get him?
What did she tell you about where baby Dylan might be?
She told me she had no idea because Children's Services had picked him up, along with her other child.
Okay. In your conversation with her, does she indicate what his well-being was?
Yeah, she said as far as she knows, he's fine.
Let me just say, the cameras glance over at the mother, who just said that to the detective or the interrogator that her baby was fine and was with social services or child protective services, and she pierces or purses her lips together real tight, like she's trying to keep her mouth shut. Okay, let me continue.
Were you able to ascertain whether or not Children's Services had come and picked that baby up?
Yes, they had not.
Okay. Were you able to ascertain who Children's Services had placed that baby with? Was it both parents, one parent?
Throughout my investigation, I learned that Children's Services had placed him with the father only.
Okay. And did you gain some of that information through defendant Jessica Groves?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did she tell you where she was supposed to be living during this time frame?
Yeah, basically here, there, everywhere.
Okay.
Not in the home.
She acknowledged she was not supposed to be living in the home?
That is correct.
Okay. Did she express to you any medical or health concerns that could have harmed the baby?
No. As far as she knew, he was healthy.
Did you have a conversation with Jessica Groves about whether or not she was using illegal drugs at that time?
Yes, she denied all drug use.
Who did you interview after that?
Daniel.
Okay. Before we get there, so at the time you're interviewing defendant Jessica Groves, Daniel Groves is not in custody, is that right?
That is correct.
Where is he, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, he's still inside of the trailer on Mount Hope.
Okay. So at some point, they do bring him to you?
That is correct.
Okay. What did he initially tell you about the whereabouts of baby Dylan?
Children's Services had came and picked him up.
Okay. Describe to the jury his demeanor and his appearance as you see him in there.
Daniel appeared to be dope sick. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but a person who maybe has been using illegal drugs and they haven't had some recently, or they're coming down off of it, they're sick, they moan, they groan. At one point when I was speaking to him, he actually laid on the floor and was groaning and passing gas.
Does he admit to you that he's dope sick?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Was there a time during that first interview when he admitted to you that baby Dylan was dead?
Yes, there was.
Okay. What did he tell you happened?
He initially told me that he found him in the crib, which is more described as like a pack and play type thing to me. Just found him in there deceased.
Okay. And he said he found him?
That is correct.
Okay. Did he deny that anybody had harmed him?
That is correct. He said nobody had touched him or harmed him.
Did he express during that interview any medical or health concerns prior to finding the baby dead?
No, that he was absolutely fine.
Okay. Did you attempt after that to speak to defendant Jessica Groves further?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what was the nature of that?
To get more information, to find out.
So as this is taking place and the interrogator and detective is speaking, Jessica looks over, glares at her. She's got her face down, facing down, but glares from the corner of her eyes at this woman.
After I talked to him, I'm trying to gather more information. She didn't want to talk, very closed off and cold.
Okay, she's not answering you.
Right, not answering any questions, yes.
Okay. Did you use any interrogation tactics to try to get her to respond to you?
Yeah, so when we're interviewing people, and we all have different ways we do things, you try to relate with them, tell them like personal stuff that's happened in your life and things you've went through, and most people that we deal with, majority of them, unfortunately, they're very deceptive. They do not tell us the truth. So, you have to use different interrogation skills as far as, maybe tell someone, well, he told me this and she told me this or whatever. And that's just something we use when we're interrogating people.
Okay, so not necessarily everything you're saying in there is truthful either.
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
Sneaky, I guess.
Did you have an opportunity to show her a photograph of the baby?
Yes, I actually had pictures of baby Dylan, and I tried to show her that to see if I could get some kind of response to get her to open up. She refused to look at it, very cold, and would not look at it.
Was she crying?
No.
In response to your conversations with the two of them on June 10th, what did you do?
So after talking to them, myself, Captain John Murphy, Detective Matt Spencer, multiple people along with K9 dogs, which were brought in out of county, drug task force. We took Daniel out there to where he told me that Dylan's body would be, and we searched for hours. The area we were in, it was kind of up and down hilly area. There was a creek that ran through. We were everywhere searching there, multiple people. We searched there and around the residence.
When you went out there, did you have information about what type of items you might be looking for?
Yes, he had told me that the baby was in some type of container. He couldn't remember what type of container. Told me that's where he put it, kind of, what the baby might be wearing, because, there should be stuff there. Even I've had other cases where, a body's been left out. Even if animals would, eat on a body or drag stuff off, you always find something. We found nothing.
Okay. You found nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Were you involved in a consent search of the Groves family home?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And did you collect any items from that home?
Yes, so I was out there along with my boss and some other detectives. Daniel was with me. He signed a consent to search, and I collected pack, I don't know if you want to call it a crib. To me, it looks like a pack and play out of the living room, some notes, a calendar, just miscellaneous stuff. So, very few baby items that I found, but stuff like that.
Okay. Let me hand you what's previously been marked as State's Exhibits 23, 22, and 23 for identification.
Let's go.
Ma'am, do you recognize those items?
Yes, these are pictures of baby Dylan that were inside the residence that I actually took photographs while inside the residence at their trailer.
Okay. And why did you take these photographs?
I took those photographs because that was the only two photographs that I could find inside the house of baby Dylan. One, so we would know what he looked like, and two, if we would need it for anything.
So if you look, up on the screen there, is that a photograph that you recognize?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And was that one of the photographs you took a photograph of at the residence?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And that's State's Exhibit 22. What about State's Exhibit 23?
Yes, that is another photograph of baby Dylan that I took a picture of while at the residence.
When you found nothing out there, did you go back and talk to either defendant?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Who did you talk to first? Before we get there, this whole search that you mentioned that went on for hours with the dogs, would that have been on June 11th?
Yes, that would be the 11th.
Okay. And then on June 12th, you would have had an opportunity to interview the defendants again?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Who did you interview first?
I believe on the 12th that it was maybe Jessica. I'm not sure. Hold on. Daniel.
Okay. During that conversation, does defendant Groves admit to you that the story about CPS was a lie?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Does he deny that he lied about the location of the baby's body?
That is correct. He told me that that was the location of the baby. His stories kept changing so much, it was kind of hard to keep up, but yes, he did deny that.
Okay. And he repeatedly asked to speak to his wife, is that correct?
Yes, he wanted to speak to Jessica, was worried about her well-being, and wanted to make sure she was okay.
Did you accommodate that request?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Are these video interviews that you conduct at the sheriff's office recorded?
Yes, they are. Every interview I do in the office is recorded from start to finish.
Okay, video and audio.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So let me hand you what's going to be marked as State's Exhibit. For identification. You recognize the item I've just handed you?
Yes, this is a copy of the meeting where I allowed Daniel and Jessica to talk inside of our interview room.
Okay. That also, you said, starts out with you talking to Daniel?
Yes, I started out talking to Daniel, and like I said, he was very concerned about her and if she was doing okay. He wanted to speak to her. I told him that if she wanted to speak, you know, there's no expectation of privacy in the jail. So I'm like...
Let me interrupt you just for a second. Have you had an opportunity to review all these interviews?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And you provided those copies to the Office of the Prosecuting Attorney?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Is that a true and accurate representation of your interviews out there that day?
That is accurate, yes.
And the conversation between the two defendants?
Yes.
Okay. While the defendants are in the interview room together, where are you?
Okay, while they're in the interview room together, they're in there. We also have a viewing room, so it's right beside it, so we can actually watch it live. So if we've got someone in there, or say another detective's doing an interview, we can sit there and watch so we can see it and we can hear it. do. Anytime we have a recording on our machine, that's how it looks when it's burnt onto a disc.
Okay. And so this is the date and time that you would have conducted that interview?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Do you recognize the individual on the screen there?
Yes, that is Daniel Groves.
Okay. And is this the same interview that you would have conducted that day that you reviewed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Rob, we had a first to finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry we're continuing to deal with those legal issues from earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, in this case, you will hear testimony concerning a recording that was made in this matter. You will also hear a portion of the audio portion of a DVD and have a listening aid of that recording. You are instructed that the listening aid in this case is merely an aid to facilitate listening. The evidence consists of the recording itself. The listening aid is provided to you only for the purpose of helping you understand the recording. If you find they do help you. If you find there's a difference or discrepancy between the listening aid and the recording, you are to rely only on the recording. Again, if you found any difference between the recording and the listening aid, you should disregard the listening aid and use your judgment as to what was said. Now, ladies and gentlemen, also during the playing of this recording, there are times where Ms. Hutchinson is going to pause or skip over portions of that recording. That is because some of the matter is irrelevant to the issues at hand, and some of the matters, and also for expediency in playing through this tape. So if you're wondering why she's skipping through portions of it, it's because we've discussed it, the lawyers and I've approved it that way. Ms. Hutchinson, are you ready to proceed?
Judge, if we might approach the bench just for...
Mr. Bryant, if you'll pass out the listening aid at this time.
If there is, I can make some.
Doing that, for the record, my copy of the listening aid I will mark as Court's Exhibit 1 at the conclusion of the trial.
You say 2 more for the day?
Would ask the court reporter to keep that for accuracy of the record.
Do you hear what each one?
Ms. Hutchinson, you may continue.
Thank you. Lieutenant Constable, you just asked him if he was feeling better. What was that in reference to?
Because he was so sick and they gave him some stuff in the jail to make him feel better, to help it. It's easier. It doesn't make it go away, but it helps you come down off the drugs and you're not as sick.
Do you know what that consists of over there?
Yeah, basically what it is, it's motion sickness, and I'm not a physician or on the legal name, but it's motion sickness medication along with Imodium. It just makes it easier on them.
Okay. Is that common practice over at the jail? They
Yes.
get an inmate that requests it and is withdrawing?
Yes, it is. talk to me?
Well, when am I gonna get moved to the range?
Are you not on the range yet?
No, they just
Okay.
got me up there, and every time I ask him, he says it's up to you. And I told him that you told him yesterday I was good to go back there.
Yeah, I did. I told him right in front of you. I'll see what the holdup is at, and I'll make that happen. Do you think? Are you sure that's where you put? Because, like I said, we've still got people out there looking and haven't found nothing. Just because we want to validate your story that you are.
I'm serious. I wouldn't. Trust me. I wouldn't even tell you. I wouldn't even told you nothing if I wasn't gonna tell you.
Well, that's what I said too.
I would not even. I would not even told you that.
Okay, and you don't.
Why would I tell you that and not tell you the truth? I mean,
Right.
What would it benefit me?
No, and that's what I said. Well, and you said that stone thing she bought for her mom. When did her mom pass away?
It's 7 years ago now.
Oh, she just now bought it.
No, it was actually on like an easel thing.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
And the thing tore up, and we just took the
Okay.
stone off of it. Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't bury it or anything?
No,
Okay.
no,
We're just trying to, because, if we can find something, it's going to validate your story that,
yeah. Trust me, like I said, I wouldn't even said nothing if I wasn't going to say it.
No, I know, and that's what I said,
Why
because,
would I even tell you if I wasn't going to tell you where it was at? I mean, how that would benefit me? You know?
right, yeah.
Detective Conkel, you're in there saying, yeah, that's what I said, when you're asking him, are you sure that's where you took the baby? And he's saying, I wouldn't have told you something like that. Do you believe at that time that he's being honest with you?
No, I do not believe he's being honest.
Okay, why are you saying that to him?
Why am I saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to, get him to tell me the truth. Where is this baby? Where is it at? To see, if his story stays the same, if it changes, just to get more information.
You feel that? Yeah, right there.
Okay, so let me stop it here and record.